Hey guys, this is Ryan, bringing you a different type of commentary. If you noticed, this is actually a tournament mode game, meaning we are in fact in a lobby. Me and 3 friends decided it was... Actually, no, it wasn't 3 friends, it was 2 friends. Pardon me. It will be 3 friends in the future, though. We decided it's time to stop rocking those pubs because we're looking for more of a challenge. We're looking to raise our skill level. So we hopped onto TF2lobby.com and got ourselves in a lobby. This is the very first lobby that we decided to go in. I am playing Medic, my friend Pinky is playing Sniper, and my friend Luke is playing Heavy. Everyone else here is just randoms who picked up. And I will be talking about in this commentary how to play Medic effectively from a competitive standpoint. So, what's Medic's main job? Well, it's sort of obvious when you think about it. It's to keep everyone alive. But we can go into a lot more specifics than that. Number 1 is when there's no combat going on that's very specific. You want to go around and keep everyone buffed up. Give them all some extra health. So if they ever get in an engagement, they're going to have an advantage over the enemy. Very important. Secondly, because you're not doing a lot of their shooting, you're probably going to be the main caller. You're going to be looking around. So you're going to be spawning out spies, spawning out potential threats, and generally just being the lookout for your team. Before I go too much more into this, I want to say right now, you're going to want to know when to not follow your heal targets and when to tell them it's not a good idea to go in there. At this point, we weren't really communicating at all, so I wasn't able to discuss with Luke that this was probably going to be a bad idea. And I was right, the pyro ends up neutralizing the Uber, and he comes after me immediately after. And it was almost something good, but I die right as the sandwich pops. Luke was able to take out the scout and the soldier, though. So that's something. So that's something nice out of that, I guess. And I didn't drop the Uber. That's also important. Best to use it rather than lose it. Now, you might notice a minigun right as I went through the teleporter. That was an enemy Heavy at our spawn. He just took out the teleporter. I'm glad I went through the teleporter, because if I tried to go after him, I would most likely have died. And a medic death is very, very important. To not have happen, and to have happen. Sort of, you know what I mean. It's important to kill the enemy team's medic, and important to keep your team's medic alive. Because he is a moving large health kit. He'll keep you alive. You kill the enemy team's medic, you just have an advantage. You regenerate health, they don't. It's almost unfair when you think about it. Of course, you gotta have a good medic that keeps your entire team healed up at all times. But it really is important. The second most important thing about the medic is his Uber function. His reward for doing well on healing is he gets to deploy 8 seconds of vulnerability. Of course, that's just limited to this minigun, and I'll talk more in depth about the other miniguns later and their place in competitive. An Uber, in my opinion, should be used for 3 things. Number 1, saving a critical target. You see your Heavy is at about 20 HP, and he's being faced off about 3 enemies. You can pop that over and save that Heavy. It's totally legitimate. Secondly, is to save yourself. Because as long as you're alive, your team still has that regenerative health. You do not want to die. So popping an Uber to save yourself, completely legitimate as well. And the third, actually there's 4. Sorry about that, there is 4. The third one is to take out key points in enemies' defenses or offenses. Stuff like sentry gun nests, medics building Uber. And then the 4th is sort of joint with that, and the fact that when you see an enemy team medic and they're in distance of your heal target to, well, take him out, I would recommend Ubering. Because if they don't have an Uber ready, and you use an Uber to take them out, that's completely legitimate. I don't want to use the word legitimate, but I honestly can't think of anything else. They pop Uber here, and the medic makes sort of a bad mistake. I make a mistake here. I didn't Uber the engineer first. I wanted to hold on to the Uber for a little bit longer, but the engineer died and the spy took advantage of that, came by and stopped the sentry, so we're all making mistakes here in our first lobby. But there's stuff we can learn from. I'm recording every single lobby I go into from now on, just so I can watch it back and think about what I could do different. About times where we lost a point, about times where I died. And just generally, this is how you raise your skill. You play against skill players using TF2 lobby. Now, I didn't follow the pyro in there. That was because I felt very in danger with the soldier behind and heal targets. And you know what I mean. It didn't look too good from my side. The pyro came through, so that's nice. Heal him up. And now I've got an Uber. What am I going to waste this Uber on? We're going to look for the very first opportunity. Let's look together like it's a children's TV show. I see the medic going in through the front. So what am I do? Pop that damn Uber to kill the medic. And once again, they no longer have regenerative health, so our team goes on an offensive.
They got a mini up on A, or C, sorry. C. I think they're setting up something up on C.
Never stray too far from your objective. If you're playing competitively, it's not all about the kills and the assists you get.
Yeah, they're setting up
It's about supporting the people holding the objective. If you notice, we have a few roamers covering the flanks because you have to do that. If you all hold up in one spot, you can easily get taken out by the medic's Uber. But everyone's sticking generally around one area. I do a little bit more of a roam here because
Medic, if you want to build, I'm here.
there was a little bit of action going on.
I'm at B, if you want to build.
I call it the spot here. Communications are probably the most important thing to a medic. Letting your team know you're in trouble. We'll say it's what's the word I'm looking for? I am tripping all over myself. It's the difference between life and death. Word of mouth really is important. I see they pop here. I almost have Uber, and I don't want to lose it. The pyro, however, was able to hold them back for just long enough for the Uber to run out before the demo can get a shot in on it. And I got really overzealous here. I thought I saw a teammate over there, and I ended up running into a pipe. And I was just like, oh god, I need someone to Uber. I need someone. Anyone. A pyro? Okay. You're going in, and you're wrecking their crap. And wreck their crap he did.
Good job.
Organized pushes, where I say, I'm Ubering, allows people to take advantage of the confusion of, like, when people see an Uber target, they panic. They don't want to get killed, they run, which makes your team have the advantage to just jump in and get them while they're panicking. Of course, you want to spot out any enemy pyros before you decide to launch an Uber, because they can effectively just neutralize the hell out of it, making it completely nullified and stupid, and you're gonna feel dumb. Your entire team's gonna hate you. Maybe. I can't really speak for that. So let's talk about the different heal guns in their place in competitive. What does crits give that Uber doesn't? Obviously, surefire kills. Crits do so much damage, and because Highlander lobbies do not have any random crits, the crits Krieg is that much more effective. I make a huge mistake here and pop Uber. It was a very panic-free sort of situation where I see a soldier right beside me and I feel like I could die at any second. Because I'm used to the normal gameplay of TF2 where anyone can get a random crit at any time. But because I launched that Uber too quickly, the enemy team's medic pops crits and it manages to kill me because I'm also overzealous in chasing a spy. I was a little bit too competitive, you could say. Check this stuff out. Pinky takes the teleport before I do. He gets headshotted for it. Karma! So I decide not to take the teleporter. Probably the best. But crits, since it builds Uber slightly faster than the Uber, it can be used as a clutch, I guess you could say, when your team just needs to get in and get a job done, and the enemy team's medic is too good, and they're holding the Uber, they're holding the point, and you just need to get some damage done. The crits with a good target, can take out an entire team if you got smart placement on where to launch it and smart timing. Of course, your best targets would be the soldier, demo man, and heavy. But I wouldn't invalidate its effectiveness on good snipers, good scouts. Crits really work well for any class.
Alright, let's try and hold this.
That is one good engineer. You see what he's doing?
I love it.
He's using mini sentries and playing a flank. He's making sure he's trying to win the game for his team by being sneaky. And an engineer in competitive gameplay can certainly do that.
I believe they're still running crits, and I think they might have Uber.
Sure, one of his most important buildings is a teleporter. But if you're not going on defense... Oh, I decided to counter pop Uber because I see crits around the corner. But if you see... Why am I talking about engineers when this is supposed to be a meta commentary? Yeah, whatever. But the engineer on offense can play the flank and can go behind enemy lines and try to get a sneak in. Because as long as he has that teleporter up, he can do whatever the crap he desires. On defense, that's a different question. You probably want the power of a level 3 sentry defending your objectives. Now, a little bit of a discussion on Ubers in general. When you are Ubering and you have a lot of teammates nearby, I'd recommend switching between your entire team because it takes Uber about a second or so to wear off. So you can effectively make like 3 or 4 teammates Uber at the same time, which is a much more destructive force and will definitely do more work than just staying on one target at once. You can see almost every single time I Uber, as long as there's a teammate nearby, I will Uber them both at once.
They got Telly on right.
Although this does drain Uber faster, it makes you more effective because that person has about 2 seconds of a vulnerability that they can use. Okay, quick fix. Let's talk about the quick fix. What does the quick fix do that the other metiguns don't? They healed slightly faster. Got overzealous with a demo right there. I probably should have just escaped. Know when to run. I didn't.
Soldier's down.
But the quick fix gives you faster heal rate, less overheal, but it still does give overheal. And its Uber allows you to heal at a very quick pace. Now, your heal rate is almost to the point where it's an Uber, but you can still die from attacks that kill you within, like, 20 ticks of server time. 20 ticks. If you don't know what a tick is, there's about 6 ticks? No, there's like 67 ticks in a TF2 second. So, you have to get killed pretty darn quickly. Also, one-hit kills such as headshots, backstabs, not gonna save. The quick fix is not gonna save you. So, where's the quick fix's place in all this? In competitive gameplay? Other than the fact that it also allows you to inherit momentum from rocket jumpers, sticky jumpers, yada yada yada. I'd say it's probably good for when you want to get sneak attacks off on well-guarded sentry nests with a demo or a soldier. If they're good and they know what they're doing, and they have regenerated health coming with them to the spot where they can take out those nests, the quick fix can be a really, really dangerous tool. But other than that, it's not exactly the best tool for competitive. Vaccinator, I could see Vaccinator being a generously amazing tool against an enemy medic who uses crits, primarily. Because if you Uber with the Vaccinator, you gain immunity to crits from the damage type you have selected. These people who are talking game are just messing with my mind. Maybe I should have muted the gameplay. You know what? Let's do that right now. Where's my mute button? There it is. Oh. Okay.
He's sandwiching. Never mind.
So, it's important in competitive as well to always move as a team. make sure you communicate and tell everyone what the plan is. Because right here is the true essence of Team Fortress 2, you can see. Just look at this. The soldier is off roaming, and he's entirely entitled to roam. That's his job, to play flanks and try to gank the medic.
They got what appears to be level 2
But
on A.
everyone being around at the same place is gonna almost quadruple your effectiveness. I'm just pulling that number out of my hat, but it makes you way more effective at taking care of threats. Now, that foreshadowing thing, if you remember from back then, it's gonna be coming up here soon. We know they're all stationed at B, except for the heavy at this point.
Their sniper watched us
And
on our spot
right
entrance
here,
to B.
the spy.
Spy behind us.
So we know the heavy's down, the spy's down. We don't see the medic anywhere, or the demo. I don't know if he's packing crits or not, or still. And I just
Yeah,
want to
so
save
keep
this
back
Uber for the
towards it,
very
get back to our spawn.
best part, which would be the sentry. So I'm waiting until we get around the corner here, and
Covering back entrance.
I unfortunately did not catch. Whoop! I did not catch that the medic had popped. I didn't hear him. I was talking over Skype. Generally, it was a pretty sad day. You want to pay good attention to sounds in game. They can tell you so much in half a second that you need to stay alive. Because right before that medic popped, you could hear him say, "Go get them," or something like that. But our team is on the ball. I'm going to wager that a soldier or a demo popped up to the roof to take care of that sentry. And right here is pretty much game. In competitive, you can see up the top there, we just have to get more points than they do in that time limit. If we don't, and they didn't capture all the points, we can capture all points instead. But this is pretty much game right here. Good team, good communication, really makes it.
Nice.
Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll upload more competitive gameplay very soon.